Once selected, you will land on the admin side of the campaign site, where you can check in or check out guests. Select the View Campaign Site button to see the full campaign site. When checking in a guest, you will want to welcome them to the event. Proceed through a series of audible prompts which allows you to verify their contact information and get them set up to bid using GiftSmart. Here you can see a suggested script which can be used if one is not provided by the point of contact. A good script should contain, but is not limited to, including a greeting, a brief explanation as to why you are verifying their information and what it will be used for. Ask to put a card on file if one is not already attached to their account, and a conclusion which prompts them to their next step and thanks them for their time. How to check in a guest. To check in a guest, go to View Admin, Users, and select Check-in. Type in the guest's name, then press Search. Guests matching your search will display below. Locate the guest and press Select. Here you can update the guest's personal information. Once complete, press Continue. If the organization has required a credit card for bidding, a guest is unable to place a bid without providing one. You can enter their credit card information manually or with a card swiper. To swipe a credit card, select Swipe Credit Card. Wait for the pop-up that shows the credit card reader is connected, then swipe the card. The credit card is successfully added when the check-in confirmation appears. Press Close to return to the main check-in page to help the next guest. Purchasing a ticket for a new guest. If the organization sold tickets through the GiftSmart platform, you may need to purchase a new ticket for a guest during the check-in process. If the guest does not appear after searching their name or the party name associated with a sponsorship, select the Purchase Ticket for a New Attendee button. Choose the appropriate ticket type and quantity, and enter the purchaser's information. Note, it is important to enter their cell phone number so they can receive the welcome text. Their ticket payment can be processed in multiple methods: cash, check, credit cards, which must be entered manually, other, or pledge, which is to be paid at a later date, or complimentary. After confirming the payment, the ticketed guests will now appear in the checkout screen and can be checked into the event. Once check-in is complete, the guest will receive a welcome text message with a personal link to start bidding. It is important that they not share this link as it is unique and linked to their personal information. How to resend a welcome text message. If a guest did not receive the welcome text, go to View Admin, Users, and then Details. Search the guest's name. Confirm their cell phone number. If the cell phone number is correct, scroll down to the text engine and switch from short codes to long codes USA. Then scroll up to Actions and select Resend the registration message. The guest will receive a text from a 7-digit number instead of our default 5-digit number, helping a guest receive text messages after they have been opted out. When a guest texts stop, they will no longer receive text message updates. If they wish to start receiving messages again, instruct the guest to opt back in by having them text the keyword to the shortcode. The guest will then receive a welcome text message and will start to receive updates again. You can see whether or not someone has opted out of text messages by going to the View Admin and then Details. Search for their name. If there is an icon indicating no SMS, this indicates that they have been opted out of receiving text messages. Placing a bid for a guest. To place a bid for a guest, select View Campaign and then the Items tab. Click on the item that the guest would like to bid on. Then, enter the guest's information. Names fitting your search will populate below. Select the appropriate name from the drop-down, confirm the bid amount, and press Bid. If a credit card is required to bid, but the guest did not add one at check-in, you will be prompted to either swipe or manually enter the credit card information. The guest can also add this information on their smartphone when they attempt to place their first bid or by going to the My Info tab. An auto bid will ask the system to automatically bid for a guest up to the designated amount. To set an auto bid for a guest, search for and select the item the guest wants to place a bid on. Enter the guest's name and their information will pre-populate below. Instead of the Place a Bid tab, you will need to select the Auto Bid tab. Enter the max amount they wish to bid, and then select Bid. If the guest is outbid on their auto bid, they will receive a text message with a link to easily place another bid. A great way to get more guests involved is by showing them how to watch an item. In the My Activity category, they can easily see all of the items they are watching or have already bid on. To better understand how the GiveSmart platform works, let's take a look at how the guest is able to interact with the platform and their experience. When a card is required for bidding, a guest will be prevented from placing a bid until a card is added. They will need to select Add Credit Card, then manually enter their credit card information. As a volunteer, you will have the ability to place a bid on behalf of a guest, even if they do not have a card on file. Once you place a bid on their behalf, you have the option to swipe a card for them if one is not already on file. When a guest is ready to place a bid on an item, they can enter any amount above the starting bid if it's the first bid on an item, or above the suggested bid increment for subsequent bids. An auto bid can be placed on any item that does not have a buy now price entered. The value that should be entered when placing an auto bid is the max amount the guest is willing to pay to win this item. The platform will automatically place a bid each time they are outbid, stopping once they reach their max amount. Once the max bid is reached, they will receive a text message letting them know they are no longer winning this item. When a guest places the leading bid, they will receive a pop-up modal which lets them know they are currently the leading bidder on this item. If you as a volunteer place a bid on their behalf, the guest will receive a text message letting them know they are currently the leading bidder on this item. Once they are outbid, they will receive a text message letting them know they have been outbid and a new bid can be placed. Additionally, when viewing the items page, a guest can see a green winning banner on any items they are currently winning or a red losing banner on any items they have been outbid on. Admin have the option to set instant, raffle, or vote items as immediate checkout. This means that guests and the volunteer will need to apply a payment immediately to this item and will not be able to add the item to their cart to pay later. When immediate checkout setting is applied, once the quantity of the item is selected to be purchased, the guest or volunteer will see a modal prompting to either add a card or apply payment to an existing card. Once the payment is complete, a success modal will appear. How to delete a bid. If a guest places an accidental bid on an item, you can easily remove their bid by going to the Items page and selecting the item. Scroll down to the item history. Expand the history by clicking on the View Activity. Here you can see all bids that have been placed on this item. Confirm the guest's name and then select Delete. The guest will receive a text notifying them that they are no longer winning this item. They can now go ahead and place the bid that they intended. If the guest is simply not interested in bidding on this item, check with the organization's contact before deleting the bid, as this will affect the funds raised. Here is an example of a checkout station layout. The volunteer stationed in front of the table should assist guests who are in line or whom need assistance completing their payment. Once payment is applied, have them pull up their receipt so they are ready to show their paid stamp to the volunteers stationed behind the table. In addition to the volunteers behind the table, you will often have what we call runners who are charity volunteers. Their job is to gather the items and bring them back to the table. Checkout. Checking out a guest is very similar to checking in a guest. Type in the guest's name, then press Search. Guests matching your search will filter below. Find the guest and press the Begin Checkout button. Next, review the purchases and total amount with the guest. Proceed to the next step by selecting Make a Payment. Choose the appropriate payment method, such as card on file, cash, or check, and select Pay. A modal letting you know the payment was successfully processed will appear. Multiple payment methods or split payments. Guests have the option to pay with multiple payment methods if they so choose. Before selecting a payment type, click the Edit button next to the total amount. Edit the value to reflect the first payment amount. For example, $300 to pay cash. Select the Pay $300 button. The remaining balance will appear as the new total amount. Repeat the same checkout steps to complete their full payment. Selecting additional guests to pay for at checkout. If a guest would like to pay the balance of another guest, click on the Select Additional Guest button in their cart. A modal will appear for you to search the other guest's name. Select the additional guest. The two balances will be combined so they can be paid for together. Self-checkout. Guests can easily check themselves out by selecting the Pay button at the top of their screen. Here they can review their purchase summary and complete payments by entering a credit card or using the credit card that is already on file. Once payment has successfully been processed, a red paid stamp will appear in the summary. This acts as proof of payment and can be shown to the volunteers at the item redemption table.